That's Rigoberto Sanchez has the football teed up at the Colts 35-yard line. Right foot into it, and this preseason finale is underway. Bengals field the football about a yard deep in their own end zone, or out of the end zone. Tony McRae in 2011 and 2012. To start the ball game, he hands off to a running back who's corralled immediately by Terrell Basham. Got signed late last week. Second down and long. Out of the flat, McCarron hits a fullback. That's Lofasa, and he brings it in for finishing up that degree. Third and short, McCarron pitches right side to Jarvian Williams. Makes one-man tackle, or miss on the tackle, and then he scoots upfield for the first down. The Colts stages of the first quarter. McCarron has time, throws in the far flat. It's hauled in by John Ross, their first-round draft pick, 9th overall by Washington. 2nd and 4. Again, it's McCarron out of the gun. And they'll keep it on the ground this time. And the ball is on the ground on the far sideline. And the Colts have picked it up. But the question is, did the player stay in bounds? That is Lee Hightower, number 39. And it's going to be ruled a fumble recovery for the Colts. Colts are now +5 in the turnover margin in the preseason. They've now created a takeaway in every single preseason game.
But that'll be good. We'll get to see all three guys tonight.
Recovery at the sideline.
So all turnovers are reviewed. That was Kermit Whitfield on the carry.
This is normally a better one right here. This is a little bit better angle right here on it. Come on, keep those feet in. Keep them in. Oh, they're in.
It looks like there he's got possession and two of the puppies inbounds. That should hold up, and the Colts are going to...
It's going to be really good to watch.
After reviewing the play, the ruling in the field stands as called. Fumble recovered by Indianapolis, 1st and 10.
In plus territory to start their opening drive of the game. This is Tromaine Pope, and he's ridden down by a host of... Tolzien goes out of a pistol formation on 2nd down and wheels it out in the flat. It's Tromaine Pope. Makes one-man miss, and then up the far sideline before he's ridden out of bounds.
Well, this is manageable here, 3rd and 3.
Tolzien with time, dumps it upfield. Tromaine Pope close, but he's going to come up about 2 yards short on offense after a takeaways. Tolzien, slant pattern. Quan Bray, first down up to the 20-yard line, and the drive continues. New set of downs now for the Colts. They keep it on the ground, and this is Tromaine Pope again. And there's Evans knifing the gap, 5 yards per play. And got some movement up front.
This was a defense that regressed a year ago. They were always in that top 5 to 10, sometimes higher. And last year they slipped back to 17th, and that's going to be the critical area for them.
2nd down.
Is the center, number 66. So we're getting our first look at him.
Tolzien going to be ridden down. He hangs on to the ball, but will take the sack on the play. And there's a flag down at the end of the play.
Got great speed off the edge, and he basically...
Unnecessary roughness. Defense, number 69. 15-yard penalty, automatic 1st down.
Tolzien hands it off to Pope, cuts upfield, and dives up to about the 11-yard line where he picks up 3 on the play. The red zone so far. 2nd down and 8. Again, movement up front.
Cincinnati can't help themselves. That's Billings, a big nose tackle.
Encroachment defense. Number 75, 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
Out and manageable now for the Colts. Darrell Daniels goes in short motion. They hand it off to a running back. This is Pope, and he is going to be swarmed under. He'll lose a couple back to about the 8-yard line. Tackle on the play by Ryan Glasgow out of Michigan, the defensive tackle. They picked him up in the draft.
Offense, number 83, 10-yard penalty, 2nd down.
I think these safeties are going to have to go inside.
They hand off to a running back, new face into the ball game, carrying the pile forward up to about the 10-yard line. 3rd down and 7 for the Colts. Tolzien over the middle, he fires. It's connect, but not enough for a 1st down. First quarter, Colts looking for their first points of the night. Tolzien on 4th down, ball in the air, and it'll be incomplete. He was hit as he threw, and it will fall to the turf.
Just a nightmare.
Colts take over, the Bengals take over deep inside their own territory. Jarvian Williams jukes up to the 10-yard line. There's in the 3rd round of the 2012 draft. McCarron still into the ball game. And that is Laufasa, who out of the backfield makes a grab and then runs it past the 20-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Bengals. End around goes to John Ross, the speedster. Still knifing his way through the secondary all the way up past the 45-yard line, the field. And it's McCarron. Spot pass to the right side. And this is Cody Core on the grab for Cincinnati. Drafted in the 2nd round by Indianapolis. 2nd and 4. McCarron going deep downfield, and it is intended for Core, but broken up beautifully by Chris Culliver for the Indianapolis Colts. 42% clip in exhibition play. McCarron stands tall in the pocket. Now he's going to run with it. Dives upfield, and depending on the spot of the football, he should have enough for a 1st down, and he does. Might trade McCarron in the offseason for a draft pick, but deciding to go with him here is again as a spot pass to the near side. Again, Core hauls it in. 2nd drive of the game for Cincinnati. 2nd down and 4. They'll go on the ground to Williams. Williams sidesteps a player inside the red zone. A flag, looks like a flag came down, or was that a mouthpiece? Nevertheless, it's going to be a 1st down. Akeem Ayers finally brings him down. Carrying out of the shotgun, 3 receivers into the game. The fake to Williams. Dumps it out in the flat. This is Sethan Carter, the tight end with the grab out of Nebraska. This is reminiscent of what happened in Dallas. And McCarron lost the ball on the grip on the throw, and it just kind of awkwardly goes out of bounds. Yeah, McCarron to Williams, spins out of a tackle and dives forward. 5 for 5 so far in the preseason. He's in a battle with Jake Elliott for the kicker, and before this play can unfold, a flag is down.
False start, offense, number 73, 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
Yeah, Huber's going to put it down. Bullock's kick is up, and it is good. It's Bullock set to kick off after the field goal. Quanbray and JoJo Natson. It's Natson about 5 yards deep. Whoa. Natson corralled just short of the 15-yard line. And fake it to Richardson. Morris going deep downfield as Natson. Natson lost the ball and then batted it out of bounds. They ruled it a catch, and then a fumble, it appears.
This is the 5th. Again, play action, sets, easy, great delivery, on the money, on the money. As I said, last week he made 4.
Hand off to Richardson. He cuts upfield, and he dives up to the 30-yard line. On a couple of different teams so far throughout his career. Morris on a short drop back. He tried to go to the right side to Henry Kreger Coble out of yards in the preseason last year. Feeling pressure here, steps up, throws again to Coble, Kreger Coble, and again their field goals the last 4 seasons. This one is up, and it looks to be wide to the right, and it was.
Hopefully we get him out of the way in the preseason.
Jeff Driscoll, the 3rd-string quarterback, is into the ball game for Cincinnati. Hands off to Jarvian Williams.
These guys are fighting their tails off here in the backup positions.
They hand off again to Williams, and he scoots upfield inside to Colts territory. Keeps on wheeling and dealing. Their last drive resulted into a made field goal. Hand off again to Williams. Sidesteps one player before he's sandwiched down to the ground by Driscoll to throw. Has time, hits Alex Erickson. And Erickson inside the 30-yard line before he stood up. Driscoll on play action. Running out of time. Bobbled the ball for a second, but the Colts get him in the backfield with a sack. That's Corey White coming off the edge from his corner spot. Colts coming with a blitz. Jarvian Williams on the screen, tackled from behind by Mingo.
Be able to play coverage behind it.
Driscoll over the head of his intended receiver. That was Josh Malone. He couldn't bring that down. That sets up 4th down.
Get the block.
Elliott from 50.
Ooh, he hit that one.
Looks like he's got the distance, and it splits the uprights. Jake Elliott, who just knocked down from 50 yards. And the Colts get the football back following the kickoff, and this is JoJo Natson, draft pick out of USC, 6'8". And they screen it right side to number 37 for the Colts. Spent time with the Rams before being waived a couple of days ago. But he is fighting for that center position. 3rd down and 8. Morris fires over the middle, almost intercepted by Cincinnati. Thank goodness it wasn't. Josh Shaw had a shot at it. Again, he won the punter and kickoff specialist duty over Jeff Locke, who was waived earlier this week. Gets a punt off. Alex Erickson makes the return around the 25-yard line, spins upfield to the 27. McCarron hands off to Jarvian Williams into the boundary to the left side. He scoots out towards the sideline, ridden out of bounds by Andrew Walker. And keep it on the ground to Williams, who's been a workhorse here in the first half. McCarron to pass. Last time, floats out of the pocket, looking downfield. And on a comeback route, the ball is caught by Kermit Whitfield, the rookie out of Florida State. Whitfield.
There we go.
False start, offense number 62, 5-yard penalty. 1st down.
They had that hold offensively. McCarron. Ball is loose. Was the runner down? The Colts looked like they have the fumble recovery.
This is Spence on the tackle in the strip. This is 2 strips by a linebacker.
Looks like the Colts have it. That's Josh Boyd.
You're going to see him slide through there. Watch him actually gets that ball out just with a good tackle.
That might be a play worth reviewing.
Yeah.
So during the timeout, the officials took a look at that last play, and the ruling on the field has been confirmed. It is a fumble, and another takeaway for the Colts. That's now 7 of them so far in the preseason. So the Colts take over with great field position near midfield. A new quarterback into the game. This is Philip Walker, the 3rd stringer out of Temple. He's a rookie, and he's going to run with the football and scramble out of bounds on the near sideline. So far, Walker, 2nd and 11, fires over the middle, and that is intercepted by Cincinnati. The Bengals have their takeaway. Coming away with it is Tony McRae, and he read the eyes beautifully there of Philip Walker.
That's it. He struggles when he has to throw the ball inside over big people.
Came in, but he has since left with a thumb injury, so McCarron back in. McCarron rolling.
Be a hold
he's going
right
to run
there
with the ball. There is a flag down.
That'll be a hold. This is
holding. Offense number 73. 10-yard penalty replay. 2nd down.
4 to go now in the 2nd quarter. McCarron on 2nd and long fires and hits a receiver over the middle for a catch.
Look, coming out of it.
McCarron with time as he rolls out of the pocket. Now he's a runner, and he's going to concede and set up 4th down. Good.
Bray is back to return this one.
He had been dealing with a calf injury. They signed a punter, but then waived him earlier this week. And Quan Bray makes a fair catch at the 11-yard line. Walker on 1st down, hands off to a running back who's tripped up by a handful of Bengals. So Tromaine Pope back into the game. Was the Big Mac sack? With that Colts sack, get a free Big Mac tomorrow when you buy one at regular price. Almost intercepted again.
Interference, 1st down.
There's a flag on the play. Ball batted down by Brandon Bell for Cincinnati. And hard
pass interference, offense number 47.
Yeah.
Penalties decline. 4th down.
We're getting a stomach block and then comes out. You got to get down and pivot out of there.
There's Rigoberto Sanchez with a end-over-end punt fielded by Alex Erickson. negotiating his way up the field, and his forward progress will be stalled around the 41-yard line. Average at 27.9 last season. McCarron on a screen hits Williams, who's been all over the place here in this first half. And he darts upfield to around the 44-yard line before
those backup backer positions.
2nd and 7 for A.J. McCarron. Again, tried to dump it upfield to Williams. Good defense there by Spence.
Spence again.
Colts showing 4 down linemen. McCarron again up the field. Very vanilla on the play call. It's Williams on the catch, short of the 50-yard line and short of a first down.
Again, this has been a good battle all summer, but remember, Quan Bray was the 2nd leading return guy in the nation coming out of Auburn, so he's got a hell of a resume himself.
And he makes a fair catch there inside the 20-yard line.
Just like to see them be able to push the ball downfield. I mean, that without luck, you're going to have to find a way to do that.
So there's the knee by Walker, and that'll be the final play of the first half.
Make sure you get a little balance in the run. And then on defense, I think we've got to get some pass rush. Get a sack. Anybody, get a sack. Put some pressure on the quarterback, and let's see if we can find a gem here in the second half. Yeoman duty to try to get him ready.
Walker to Pope, tries the left side. He's brought down by a handful of Cincinnati players, including... Gets his number called here, and he trudges forward up to the 30-yard line. He's on 24 carries. 3rd and 4 for Walker. He throws behind him, and the ball goes out of bounds, intended for Pope. Kickoff duties for the Warriors. Right foot into this football. It's another end-over-end punt, and Erickson makes the catch out of bounds.
The return game.
1st and 10, Cincinnati. Jeff Driscoll, their 3rd-string quarterback, is out, so A.J. McCarron still in at QB with 1. 2nd and 8 for Cincinnati. They hand off left side to Jarvian Williams, who's been all over the field tonight in the Kings for McCarron under center. Play action, he rolls to the right side, and it is incomplete, off of the hands of Josh Malone, the rookie out of Tennessee.
Chris Milton.
Yeah, Milton. Not Walker, 40, not 50 on that particular play. Here is Huber's punt. Ball is hanging up, and coming forward and making the fair catch is Joe Natson. Yards and touchdown passes. He hands off to Tromaine Pope, who cuts against the grain and is tripped up around the 30-yard line. Good vision, but Pope. 2nd and 8. He gets his number called here, and he makes a man miss. First down and then some across the 45-yard line. First down, Colts. 1st and 10 on their own 46-yard line. Bad snap. Brian Schwenke still in there at center for Indianapolis. Walker had to negotiate.
No, because I think you have to overwork him if you want to get him ready.
Walker trying to set up the screen, does so to Pope, but he is in a crowded traffic jam right there, and he's brought down. Reminder, they were 0 for 5 in the first half. Walker that deep out on the far sideline, and making the grab is Joe Natson, but they ruled him out of bounds. Natson's confident that he caught the ball with 2 feet in, but the officials say that it is an incomplete pass. Take another look.
Sail route.
Natson's 5'7", and he makes every use of his body there. Goes over the middle and is not afraid to take a hit. Sanchez with the right foot into the ball. Again, a rugby-style kick, and Erickson comes up and makes a fair catch. 6-0. A.J. McCarron still in the game at QB. Rolls to the right side and tried to fit it into the hands of Kermit Whitfield. Check that, Erickson on the near sideline, but broken up.
Kids out there fighting their tail off.
2nd down, McCarron. Little bubble screen. It's Whitfield, and he's got speed on the outside, and he's got a first down. And he's brought down on the perimeter by the Colts, 28. Josh Malone goes in motion. They'll keep it on the ground with Jarvian Williams, and he's got a big hole. He's at the 40-yard line, puts his head down, and goes out of bounds for another first down run. And he drafted a running back in the 2nd round, Joe Mixon,
who's a tremendous talent.
They pitch it to Williams in the boundary, and he is not shy for contact. Wolf brought him down, but another first down by Williams. 3rd quarter. McCarron to Williams, and he's snowed under by the Colts. Game that he has appeared in 2 seasons.
There we go.
McCarron's going to go down, and it's Barkevius Mingo who gets the sack. That's the 2nd sack of the ball game for the Colts, but just hasn't been able to live up to that potential. Here's McCarron, steps up into the pocket. Now he's got time, dumps it upfield to who else other than Williams, and he continues to spin upfield before he's driven down. Huber's left foot into it, rugby-style kick, and hangs up into the air. Natson's going to let it go. It takes a fortuitous Bengals bounce inside the 10-yard line.
Good strip there at the end of the play. Really good by Chris Colvin.
Hand off to Richardson, and he gets about a 4-yard pickup there. Of 7, I beg your pardon. On 1st down. On 2nd down, they keep it on the ground as well. This time it goes nowhere. 3rd and 3, Philip Walker, the quarterback. They'll keep it on the ground with Richardson. 1st down as he ekes across the 20-yard line. Sized him up for a helmet, and that's all you need. They pitch it to him here near side. He stutter steps up to about the 25-yard line before he hits a brick wall. P.J. Dawson supplied the hit. 2nd down and 8. They give it to him again.
He's going to win a Colt letter tonight. Do they still give letters?
Rager Coble goes in motion. And it's Walker floating to the left, and he's going to be banged out of bounds on a quarterback scramble. Yard line. Luke Rhodes again is the new long snapper. That one's perfect from center. Spiraling kick, a booming punt down the field. And coming up and making the return is Alex Erickson, and he goes out of bounds. Williams goes in the slot to the left side. Ball in the far hash for A.J. McCarron. And they try to go to Williams. Is there anybody else on the team other than Jarvian Williams is forced into duty here in the preseason finale? They give it off to Williams, and he doesn't get much. Gain of only about a yard up to the 30-yard line before he's ran down by David Perry. On conversions tonight. McCarron out of the gun. And the pocket collapses, and he'll be sacked.
Pretty good company right there.
Anytime you're mentioned in the same breath, those guys are doing something right. JoJo Natson on the return of a Huber punt. Turns the corner.
Look out.
He's got speed to burn. He's at the 50-yard line. Cuts back. The ball is on the ground.
No.
There's a scrum for it and a fight for the loose pigskin. JoJo Natson had such a great return going, but coughed up the football. Now the question is, who's got it at the bottom of that pile?
Oh, he was electrifying, but you got to hold on to that football. You got to secure it.
It looked like Demetrius Cox was the player who...
And we got it.
Richardson, the handoff, and he scoots up to the 35-yard line for a gain of about 3 or 4. Down in 7. Colts looking for their first points. Here's Walker to Richardson. He's going to be wrapped around the ankles in the backfield. A tackle for loss. Several players in there, including Brandon Bell.
Holding, defense, 5-yard penalty, automatic 1st down.
That's a break for the Colts. They guided the Bengals to the playoffs, but they have not won a playoff game since 1990 on the end around. The jet sweep. JoJo Natson tripped up by Bené Benwinkery, the safety. 2nd down and 12. Early stages of the 4th quarter. It's Richardson's number. And he dives inside the 3rd. The Colts. Colts are 1 out of 9 tonight. Here's 3rd and 9. Walker pump fakes. End zone. He throws, and it is caught. Justice Liggins, touchdown Colts.
Liggins did a heck of a job. Great throw. Hell of a job by Liggins. That guy was all over him. He got a little push at the end.
And he beats Benwickery off the line, and a good throw downfield by Walker.
Just a little jousting at the end. Good grab. Excellent grab. Good throw by Walker.
Adam missed a PAT last Saturday in Pittsburgh. That one right down the middle. First, and they lead 7-6 off of the Adam Vinatieri made PAT. Rigoberto Sanchez drives the football down the field on the kickoff, and that will be a touchback.
Ballard likes those Texas guys.
And no matter where you are, Chris Ballard will find you. And here is A.J. McCarron being pressured in the backfield. And
Big Thomas again.
Defensive line after the coaches talked to him and talking them through things that they're seeing from the sidelines. These guys have been together since July.
Here in the 4th quarter. It's A.J.
Blitz.
McCarron. Colts coming with pressure. He throws over the middle and hooks up with a receiver. This is Chris Brown. Motion from right to the left. He's a wingback now to the bottom of your screen. Here's Jarvian Williams. And he jump cuts up to the 45-yard line. 26. Second down and 6 for Cincinnati. There's Williams again, and he's going to be brought down.
Now, I want to make
Jeremiah George. Colts clinging to a 1-point lead. McCarron floats out of the pocket, directing traffic on the fly. There's a flag. He throws and hooks up with Levante Whitfield. He goes by Kermit and goes out of bounds, but let's see what the flag is all about.
Well, Kermit, that one's coming back.
Holding, offense, number 77. 10-yard penalty, replay, third down.
McCarron, play clock down to 5. A low snap, steps up into the pocket. Dumps it upfield to Brandon Laufasa, number 44, the fullback H-back, able to return, or recover, I should say.
And now we need some running game and some possession passes. We need, oh no.
Natson drops the ball. It's on the turf momentarily, and the Colts are fortunate again to get it back. Coming down with it for the Colts on the recovery was Earl Wolf. Right place at the right time.
Caroline, it hurts him. I'd like to say it doesn't. I mean, there's a lot we really like about JoJo, but you've got to have reliability.
There's a deep throw down the field to Valdez Showers.
Whoa.
And Colts keep it on the ground, and they hand off to our new running back who's into the ball game. That's DeMar Lorenz. We saw him earlier.
Go for a touchdown. No.
Walker out of his own end zone.
Cover 2.
Takes the snap. Slant pattern looking for Liggins. Couldn't haul it in, a little high, but he had his hands on it.
You're in open field.
Luke Rhodes with a good snap. Right foot into the football. Wobbly kick. And it's Erickson who makes the catch on the run. Makes one man miss. Still on the go. A flag is down. And cleaning up the mess for the Colts. That's number 36. Andrew Williamson on special teams. But let's see what the yellow flag is all about. Him up in the slot.
During the return. Illegal block in the back. Return team, number 94. 10-yard penalty. 1st and 10. Timeout on the field.
Luke Rhodes, Adam Vinatieri, and Rigoberto Sanchez. 1st and 10. McCarron over the middle finds a diving receiver. That's Kermit Whitfield at the goals for Cincinnati. That's the difference in the game. They hand off left side to Jarvian Williams, and he's going to be ran out of bounds by Corey White.
It's just something that you have to fix. It's very fixable.
Over the head of the intended receiver, Josh Malone. He's looking around saying, where was that one?
Get a roughing penalty here.
Roughing the passer. Defense, number 49. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
You're up around the neck area. You can't do it. Look at the tape tonight. Tonight will have a lot to do with it. You got George coming back, incidentally, who just slips through there and makes the play.
Inside Colts territory at the 29-yard line. It's McCarron. Finds an open receiver. That's Erickson, and he is wrapped up around the ankles. Set him up here in just a moment after this third down play. McCarron floats the ball out of bounds and just gets rid of it.
And we're excited to have any opportunity to try to find a way to get it done before the clock strikes 0 tonight. But hey, it's the 4th preseason game, so we're getting ready for it's been a plan that's a very detailed plan that has been in place for months since the season ended. We're just starting off with a new regime. Andrew's coming off not only surgery but shoulder throwing surgery from his throwing arm. So hey,
he gets the full okay 100% go.
Well, it's a great question because it's been said before. His gut feeling on how he's feeling.
You know, Chris Ballard is a pretty smart guy, but the Colts have experienced.
See an opportunity to get Pro Bowl players. We see an opportunity to get guys. That's the reason we invest so much in our scouting department, and we invest so much
to go with Chris Ballard. What is your expectancy? What are you looking for from the coaching staff in this season as we go forward?
And his ability who have this maturation process as our head coach. And I know there's going to be some frustration on blogs and things like that, which is interesting because, quite frankly, I believe this is the newest year we're having of confrontation. Doesn't shy away from it. If he sees some confrontation in the hallway, he is going towards it, my friend, right at it, not away from it. And there's a wheelchair spot closest to your locker room, and a player decides to park there.
2nd down and 7. They hand off to Jarvian Williams, who's had just an extraordinary game. And he plunges inside the 30 down to about the 28-yard line. Same thing with the same eye, but they have to learn how to disagree. And on 3rd and 2, the Colts come up big. Good surge up front. Williams, the ball carrier.
To donate $10 to the American Red Cross Hurricane Harvey relief. Back to you guys.
And it's Randy Bullock on for a field goal, and he missed it. He missed it. Randy Bullock's first miss in the preseason. Looking to run some clock and get some yards here. This is Tromaine Pope, it would appear, the ball carrier. It is. Clock and preserve this 1-point lead. Tromaine Pope runs to the right side. He's going to give himself up. Runs into a handful of Bengals waiting for him. Get a chance. 3rd and 7. Walker to Pope.
Come on.
Cuts back. Uses some vision, but not enough for a first down. He's brought down around the 44-yard line.
Again, don't let him return it. Don't give him a chance at a big play.
Sanchez with a right foot into it. Another rugby-style kick end over end. Fielded by Erickson on the return. He's brought down by Williamson.
It's injury.
All right, McCarron starts this last drive. He's going to spin out of a tackle.
That's Thomas again.
Roll to the right side, throws. It's caught by Sethan Carter.
To defend that boundary, keep that ball inside and in front.
McCarron has time. Steps up. Now he's a runner, and he's going to give himself
That's good. That's inside and in front.
They're going to have to go quick here. Maybe 1 or 2 more plays left. McCarron steps up. Over the middle, it's Carter, but it was jarred free from him by Lee Hightower.
You really need to play, and really you've gotten very little, particularly Hooker, very little out of him in the preseason.
There's a flag down, there's a delay of game. That'll stop the game. Maybe the final play of the game for McCarron. Going to throw downfield, and he's going to hit Josh Malone, and Malone out of bounds in time. The rookie kicker from Memphis. Snap. Ball down. It is up, and it is no good. Colts win the ball game. They move to 2-2 in the preseason. Final score, Colts 7, Cincinnati 6.